Hey, all right. Okay, so we'll do this on my phone. It'll be much, much better. But hang on, I got to pull out the pop-up chat. Thank you guys. I hope you came back and all that. I really did. I tested it all this afternoon. I thought I had everything going great, but no, no, I did not. Okay, so let me get the pop-out chat. Pop-out chat. Okay. Ooh, why am I so big? Hold on. Hang on, guys. I think most of the show is going to be me trying to figure out how to do things. Sorry. And I'm on my phone now, but I still got to pull out the chat on the computer. Hang on. Why? Oh my God. Why not this now? Seriously? Okay. What seems to be the problem? Okay. Click on that. Okay. Oh, there it is. Okay. Mini player. No. Sorry. 1 second. Default. Yay. Okay. And pop out chat. Oh, you guys made it. All right. Awesome. Okay. Almost there. Okay. All right. Sorry. Uh, Angela, you can see and hear me. Okay, awesome. Yes, I'm on my phone now. This is, hey, Tarot of the Intuitive Teacup. Hey, everybody, I'm sure you've probably already heard me mention, but definitely go check out Tarot by the Intuitive Teacup. She's a great reader. Really, really interesting takes on things. I love the way she reads cards. It's very cool. She's got a lot of good new readings up right now, so check her out. And she's also going to be hanging with me and everybody else at, well, not hanging with me. I'll be hanging with her, whatever, at Ramblin' Mike's thing in Burbank. So, yeah, definitely check her out. Let's see. Okay. Let's get our Metaphysical Monday on. Exactly. Hey, Pat. Oh, hello from Hersey. Hersey or Hershey? Respergoo. All right, right on. Okay, so we're gonna call my friend Martin in just a few. Martin and I have talked a couple times. He's really into metaphysical things and all that, and I always, dig those types of conversations. It's a rarity these days when, you can find people that like converse on those topics. So I'm always game for that. Actually, I'll do this later. I had like some topic that I did want to bring up, but we'll do that after. So I'll go ahead and give him a call because I don't want to keep him waiting. Now that I've moved everything, though, now I don't have everything ready. So I had my phone and everything right here. Where is that? Oh, geez. Hold on. Oh, that's probably what I heard fall. Hang on a second, guys. Nope. All right. Oh my God, I was so like prepared. Oh man, hang on. Where the hell is the phone? Oh, there it is. Wow. All right. Martin snuck off way underneath the chair. Okay. All right. So we'll see. We'll give him a call. So what we're doing here, guys, if you missed the first intro that I did on the other live just a few minutes ago, we're just I'll be like kind of taking calls or whatever, and we'll just talk about the topics that come up. So you can suggest topics in the chat too. That's cool. Okay. Install later. Really? Now I have updates. This is going to be one of those weird things. Be sure your phone is turned on at the. Okay, got it. Okay. All right. So Martin, let's give Martin a call. See what's up. All right. So what this will be in the future is we'll probably have like I'll probably have like 1 or 2 people kind of set up or something like that. So if you do have an interesting story or something you want to share, or even if it's not a story, but if you just have some inquisitive type things or something like that that you would like to talk about or explore, then be sure and email me. My email is always underneath the description box. I'm pretty sure it is, but it's behind the limit Gmail. So, so we'll probably do like 1 or 2 callers generally. I'm going to do this every Monday. Sometimes we just might just do a topic. Like one of the topics I would like to cover in future videos would be Well, then I have a ton that I'd love to cover, but one might be like the ayahuasca thing that seems to be all the rage now. I've never done that myself. I don't. Personally, I have zero interest in doing it, but I'm not against it either. So it would. I think it would be a really interesting topic to explore, though, because I feel like a lot of people are kind of leaning towards that. So I think that would be like a good topic. Okay, so let's see. Phone. Martin. All right. Oh my God, I can't even figure out how to use the phone either. Oh, there it is. Okay, cool. Hang on. Okay. And then I got to figure out how to put it on speaker. Okay, hold on. Uh, volume. Oh, there we go. There's speaker. Hold on. Boom. All right. I got the volume all the way up. Hopefully it's going to be good.
Is this the party to who I'm
speaking? Yes. Hey, Martin, hold on. I'm going to see if I can get the volume up a little bit here. Okay. I think I got it all the way. Let me just make sure. Yep, I'm good. That's as loud as it goes. So I'll just hold the phone close. All right. So Martin. I was hoping because though we talked a little bit about some things before, but we didn't really talk about, you mentioned some things. Maybe did you have an actual experience with UFOs, or I thought that would be kind of a fun way to start.
Yeah, let me start with this. I said, is this the party with whom I'm speaking? I appropriated that from Lily Tomlin.
Oh, I love her.
She's a brilliant talent. You know that.
Yeah.
And the way she talks to us, she has this joy in her. But she did a couple of one-woman shows on Broadway. The second one was entitled "The Search for Intelligent Life in the Universe."
Yeah, I saw that actually. Yeah.
I didn't, but it won like every award.
Yeah.
But I think part of that was look somewhere in the universe for intelligent life, because there ain't much around these parts.
Yeah. Amen, brother.
Yeah. Okay. So my UFO experience, I think I was 11 years old. I've been trying to search the memory so I can talk to my higher self and guide. So I gave me okay, I was 11 years old. Sleeping out in a tent in the backyard, blankets over the clothesline.
Fun stuff, yeah.
Yeah, so 3 of us boys were in my yard. 2 yards to the west was a brother and sister. 2 yards to the west was 2 other kids. But we were in our tents, we weren't out running around, because of the boogeyman and other federal politicians and stuff, So me and the other 2 guys were talking about, I don't know exactly, but I know it was something UFO-ish, something from not around these parts. I was laying there, talking with my head outside of the tent or the blanket. And an airplane, a commercial airline, goes overhead in the dark, going northwest out of the Quad City Airport, and a light was following it.
Ooh. And
the airplane continues, and this light stopped. It had my attention. And it's not, I don't think it said anything to me. If it was, if they did, I didn't say, "Hey, dummy, we're up here," and you're not. but it was, a couple seconds there, and then it did 6 or 7 zigzags going up, and then it just disappeared.
Ooh.
And I told the guys about that. I said, we were just talking about aliens and UFOs.
Yeah, that's a little weird, don't you think? Yeah.
That is. So in my late 20s, I was talking to a guy who was a chiropractic intern across the river at Palmer College Chiropractor. And he was kind of a magician. He just went there to make it legal, to be a chiropractor. And I told him this story, and he just, not slyly or with a grin, probably, but actually with a sense of confidence, he said, "Those are probably just some friends of yours."
Oh, yeah. There you go.
And so now that I can, speak with my higher self and guide and talk around, so, I kind of confirm that. Now, you do not want to admit that you speak telepathically with aliens. It's been a couple and a half decades, or 2.5 decades, but the State Department will well, it's not a prosecution. They just take your stuff and put you in prison for 20 years. The charge is negotiating with a foreign power. So they admit to it. but only behind the closed doors with armed guards and all that stuff like that. So, but the last 2.5 decades, there's so many people speaking telepathically to aliens that they can't. To get all those people in prison, they'd have to let the violent and the murderers out. To get all those who speak with aliens.
Right.
There's one guy. I think he comes every year. Well, about 3/4 of an hour away is Estes Park, and they have a star conference, like Star People Conference or something like that.
Okay.
And a guy always shows up. He says it's Nakota with an N, not an L or a D.
Nakota.
He's a chief. I'm not familiar with that so much. I'm very well read on American Indians.
Okay.
And because I was raised in what was over 100 years of Saukanack. Anyway, so Chief Golden Light Eagle. When he speaks, he has a full feather headdress, but only goes down the middle of his back. It's not on the floor. Yeah. And he speaks with these star people. And when he speaks, he says what he says that they tell him is still flavored by American Indian way of thinking. And actually it's kind of vague. It's kind of vague.
Right.
For me, because I'm fascinated that. So. But he has this great sense of humor. He always tells this joke that Hillary Clinton was given a medicine name, that they call her Walking Eagle. That eagle walks and it can't fly because it's so full of poop.
Uh-oh. All right.
So he's a real cool dude.
Yeah.
About that. And
oh my God, you did sneak in that word.
Yeah, we spoke. Yeah, see,
Martin and I talked beforehand, and there was an ixnay on a few different words, and he asked if that was one of them he could use, poop, and I said, yeah, I'm good with that.
Yeah, it's a palindrome too. It spells the same backwards.
There you go. That was the word I was looking for. I couldn't think of the name of the word.
Another P word, palindrome.
Palindrome, yeah. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you want to write that down?
No, I'm good. I knew the word. I couldn't remember it. Real quick too, Martin. Before we continue. It just reminded me too. I don't know how many of you guys, because I'm always harping on how much I love his videos and stuff. But Bill Donahue here on YouTube. There's two. There's one that's like a radical Catholic preacher, and then there's the other Bill Donahue. It's the other one. But recently, like he's got a lot of really kind of high information type videos here on YouTube. And finally, he posted, because people would always ask him, "How do you get your information, Bill? How do you get your information? How do you get your information?" And he kind of he talked a lot about meditation being in fact that is still what he attributes most of it to. But real buried down on his website, he does have a story about an interaction with a foreign being. So I think that's really cool. Yeah.
No, I don't know the Donahue except the guy who was on TV, and I mean, like used to be on TV.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have not lived with it since second week of September of '88. I've lived with a TV for all of 7 weeks.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no, 7 months. Yeah, 7 months. And 2 of those months is when I was on and off sitting for people. So I'm just don't do the TV.
Smart, yeah, smart. So so like with the kind of UFO experience and stuff. So do you get the sense that they were kind of like connecting with you, and in other words, like that, since that experience that you saw when you were like 11, does it feel like the same connection? I mean, I know you don't want to admit too much stuff, but does it feel like the same connection as what you experienced when you were 11? I mean, have you had other interaction?
I don't want to go to prison now, Donna. Don't push the wrong river here.
Okay, all right. No problem. Yeah.
Okay, I'm saying I speak with my angels, my guides.
All right, gotcha. Okay, we can leave it there.
I've been speaking with them for so long, I don't call them my higher self and guides as much as I call them my higher self and the group of comedians who hang out with them.
Okay.
They live in this eternal joy, so of course the communication with their guides is going to be joyful and have some humor.
Yeah, okay. I
You
like
know,
it. Yeah. And you
when you
do.
meet
You seem
somebody
like a
who's
joyful person and lots of
yeah, when you
humor
read
and
somebody who says, "Oh, I talk to spirit," "Oh, holy, 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 sacred, sacred," no, 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 no. That's French. No, no, no.
yeah.
That's not. It's a joyful thing to communicate.
All right. Yeah.
You know, beyond time space. Of course, I didn't say beyond the Earth's atmosphere. I said beyond time space. You know.
Okay.
So that's where I get my confirmation and stuff. Okay, so for people who have a notebook for this, you want to know some top shelf information about alien stuff.
Yeah.
There's a website, supersoldiertalk.com, and he's talking with people who are involved with secret government and secret space program and the aliens and all this stuff. But the one I want you to listen to first, it's an interview from June of 2014 with an indigo in New York City who hasn't been really one of these super soldiers in the military and all this stuff. Mm-hmm. He's an indigo, has just researched this on his own. You would punch in on YouTube, Super Soldier and Stephen Popiotech. Stephen was with a PH.
Okay.
And like myself, what he does beyond time space, exactly like me, no mentor, just whatever we could download from a higher self and guides. But an indigo, he's got seventh dimensional stuff. Well, I'm not. So he moves faster than me. Okay. But Stephen Popiotech, Super Soldier, in about an hour and a half, he'll tell you a whole lot of this alien tech that the shadow government's using. Mm-hmm. And then forget about all the other hippie stories. Forget about that.
Yeah.
There's one more, and this gal, she's an indigo, really cool bird, just a cool bird. She was in the Marines for a while, and then when she outdid what they were, introducing her to, they got her out of the Marines right away. Her name is Alara Blackwell, and she was interviewed for an hour, maybe 8 years ago, by a really rude British guy. His channel is called Basis, BASES.
Okay.
Miles, I think is his name. But he interrupts like 20 times an hour in the middle of a sentence, But Alara will let you know about what's going on with the shadow government and all this stuff. And everything you see about the military on the news and the papers, it's all nonsense. Yeah. What the shadow government's really doing, it's like way beyond.
Way beyond.
A howitzer and blah, blah, blah. So those are... So for those of you taking notes, you can get some alien stuff on that.
Yeah.
Cool. Do you have any chat questions or specific to alien UFO stuff?
Yeah, I'm trying to look because it's like I didn't want to be rude, but like looking over here at the same time. But let's see.
Well, while we're together, Molly, if you're not.
Yeah, gotcha. Let's see. Just some talk. Yeah, I mean, most people definitely believe in it. Oh, cool, Angela. You like Bill? Let's see. Yeah, no, not really. Not any super questions on that right now.
Okay, well then I'll tell you this then.
Okay.
All the alien interaction now is all with the governments, the dirty governments. And yeah. I pronounce it like I spell it. But in biblical days, like maybe 2,500 years ago, it was much more overt.
Yeah.
So I can read something or hear something, and I can confirm or deny it with my higher self and guides. But I confirm that this is true, that Abraham, it was some aliens, I think some local ones from this quadrant of the galaxy, the Pleiades, they showed him this fertile valley with good agricultural land. There's even some bovines already over there that he could herd that didn't have a trademark on or something like this. And that's how Abraham's family prospered. There was land for this son, land for that son. That it was aliens who showed him that.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
And there's a bunch of other stuff.
But there's got to be. I mean, yeah, I got to be to be totally like frank. It's like alien like stuff isn't something that I've really ever read much about or anything. It's like interesting, to me, but it's like I don't have like a problem believing it. So it's like therefore like I didn't need to learn a whole bunch of stuff about it because I kind of believe that. I mean, why wouldn't I? Basically, of course there's so many different worlds and creatures and beings and things like that. But that is one thing that does interest me is more because like they say, and again, I'm a newbie probably to you. The stuff I'm saying is probably elementary, but I do find it fascinating. Like all the Egyptian hieroglyphs and things, and just things that just they look alien, from way back when. And I do find that kind of fascinating and interesting and all that.
Well,
So
in Mesopotamia, the portals in Mesopotamia are huge.
yeah, I've heard a
Huge.
little about that.
Like the Sumerians brought us the wheel, they brought us
Hmm.
commodity trading, the legal system. They brought it to us from where? And they disappeared to where? From where? So there was people in Egypt, but here come these guys from actually another galaxy.
Mm.
And there's other ones from other galaxies, and they come for a while, and they go. Just like the Incas didn't come from outer space.
Yeah.
Atlantis, they're from another galaxy, and there was some fights here from these people from this galaxy, these people from this galaxy. They fought here. Oh boy, aren't we just the wonderful hosts? The hostess with the mostest,
Yeah.
So there's this portal activity. So it's like wormholes type of thing,
Yeah.
So. So there's that, but I want to tell you this one detail I was able to confirm with my sources, and not aliens, that 74% of the good aliens helping us already have triple helix DNA.
Okay.
That's very cool. But things are allowed to go on down here, like Genghis Khan and Karl Rove and stuff, because there's a project going on here which has to do with not land, water, sovereignty, personal rights, natural resources. The project going on here is a battle for our consciousness, our eternal fourth-dimensional consciousness. Our intellect is fourth-dimensional, but it's not eternal. It's our consciousness that's a little piece of this angel, which you call your soul or your higher self and all that sort of that. So the higher self, so that angel, he takes risk sending us chowderheads down here in this land of forgetfulness. We forget about all this joy, from back with we're down here in this temporary spiritual spay and neuter clinic. That's the battle for our consciousness. And so all this other alien stuff, or any stuff, it's still a sidebar to the real issue of our consciousness, and for us to, while we're down here in this land of forgetfulness, to realize the kingdom of the Father within us. That's it. Show's over.
Mic drop.
That's the punchline, Molly.
I love it. Martin, mic drop. Well, Respergoo is digging it. Thank you, Respergoo, for the super chat. Yeah, okay. Yeah. I don't know. The battle of the consciousness thing, that's interesting. Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't given that much thought. I used to think that like a lot. About 10 years ago, I was really into that sort of thing. Not that I'm not thinking it's not true either. I don't know. It's just there's so much going on, and it's so so overwhelming, and it's discouraging, so I try not to, because it's such a labyrinth, or what? No, labyrinth, not labyrinth. It's such a maze, a maze of just insanity, and which makes perfect sense to them, but it's insanity to me. So.
But if you get into inside you, the kingdom of the Father is not out there. It's in you, and then from that number one self-identity, then you can look at in better discern all this other stuff.
Yes. Well said. Very well said.
Just like David Icke, he knows all these details about the bad reptoids, but he doesn't know they're bad reptoids. Well, they're bad, but he doesn't. But what I mean is, he doesn't know about the good reptoids.
I was going to ask you about him. That's so funny you brought that up. So, thank you, Tammy. Oh, good. I'm glad you are, Tammy. Tammy's enjoying the chat as well. Let's see. It's so funny you mentioned him, because I was going to bring. What's your opinion on? Because like when I first, years ago, I ran across David Icke, and not his books or anything. I ran across his like YouTube videos and things, and I got so into him. I'm like, oh my God, finally this makes sense. And then it was the other guy, the little blonde guy, David Wilcock and things like that. But David
Okay.
Icke, I like David Wilcock. I was like, I was on the fence with him. But David Icke, I really loved his information and things. But then it just seemed like, because everybody loves to throw that dynamic in. Oh no, it's disinformation or this or that. So, I mean, what is your take on like a couple of those guys, like David
Oh,
Icke and Wilcock? Do you think they kind of
oh,
flipped?
I'll mention both of them, and then if I can remember this guy's name, I'll mention him too,
Okay.
because it's important to hear this. Wilcox started out as a healer,
Yeah.
and then he was downgraded.
Yeah.
He's just a presenter.
Okay.
So I ignore Wilcox.
Okay. Yeah. I never felt it. Yeah.
And then 11 years ago, I met a guy who was from Virginia, and I said something about Wilcox, which I better not talk about here, and his jaw dropped. He says, "I'm from Virginia. This guy plays guitar with all fingers. I met him at this party. He was just doing the ambient music,
Yeah.
And his jaw dropped. He says, we used to invite Wilcox to play drums with us. And all of a sudden he turned into a poop. There's other words. And then we stopped inviting. So there's this demarcation line where he was compromised.
Yeah.
Okay, and I already knew it from my sources, angels, not aliens. And then this guy gave me some empirical evidence on my etherical evidence, okay?
Yeah.
So Wilcox is just, nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. Okay, so with somebody who's better connected than I am, a friend of mine, she's a doll. What I've been doing for 17 years beyond time space, she's been doing for 4.5 decades or so.
Yeah.
And we both got that it's not really disinformation, but there is a containment field around him. Because that he's not, he is telling you the same thing I told you, that basically the kingdom of the Father is within you, and your consciousness, that's a battle. But he's not plugging into good aliens and stuff like that. So there's a containment field about him. I can't think of this other guy's name. I will say about this guy, Alex Jones.
Oh yeah.
Okay, well he's fed disinformation.
Yeah.
But still, he's a great researcher.
I still, I'm sorry,
Well,
I'll interrupt for a second,
but he has such a loud voice now. Well, he always had a loud voice, but he's out there more.
Yeah.
But he's fed disinformation, and so some of his sources are probably compromised. But anyway, we all kind of know that. Well, I don't know. Do you know the United States of America ceased to exist on March 9th of 1933? Mm-hmm. The president in the Oval Office for 5 days.
Yeah.
Fifth day in office, he said the United States is bankrupt and insolvent, and he gave the United States of America to the Federal Reserve. Mm. The Federal Reserve is just but an arm of the banks in London. The banks in London are an arm of the Vatican Bank.
Exactly. Yeah. All back there. Yeah.
So on that day, we became the Corporation United States.
Yep.
Okay. So that's kind of the more a reference point to use, that I don't think Jones knows and some of these other guys knows. But anyway, that's my thing. The guy I'm thinking of who I'm saying to ignore.
Yeah. I think I know who he is too, and I can't think of his damn name. I think I know.
Slender face with glasses.
Yeah. Because I never liked him either, and my friend would send me a couple videos of his, and I'd be like, nah. I wasn't feeling it.
He tells stories about his consciousness put inside the body of a 9-foot-tall mantis.
Yeah.
Like a praying mantis, but we call him mantis. And now he's royalty, he's got a purple robe on. So, no, wait. So this is part of the battle of fourth-dimensional consciousness. It can be taken out, and there's fourth-dimensional technology, like abduction and stuff like that, Yeah. So he's doing that, and no, I don't trust this guy at all.
Yeah.
I don't trust him. No.
There's a lot of them out there.
I can't think of his name.
I don't. Yeah.
It's not Corey Good. I think Corey could be okay, but all of a sudden he's hooked up with Wilcox. I don't see it,
Yeah.
So it's like he's polluting Corey Good.
Yeah.
And I've heard some Corey Good stuff.
Well, that's how I felt about David Icke. It's like because I really liked his stuff in the beginning, but then something switched, and it.
I read one of Icke's book, but it was a book that follows the money.
Okay.
And it wasn't talking about the truth should set you free. I think that was the name of it. So I
Yeah.
think that was it. But it was only follow the money, and I'm follow the money guy. I just told you about the United States of America does not exist, and I study that stuff.
Yeah. That's
I
smart.
have.
Yeah, exactly. Follow the money. That's what they always say. Absolutely.
And the pyramid and all that. Well, I just told you the pyramid for the money, the fiat money system we're on in about 123 countries, is the bank of the Vatican Bank.
Vatican, yeah.
They for 500 years they've had the paper on the crown of Spain and the crown of England.
Yeah. Well,
So,
everything always seems to lead to them, and then that just sucks because it's like I always think about like that they have like it's like okay, but that's one thing I don't understand because it's like if they have this like the supposed library with all the real books and all of this knowledge and stuff like that, and it's like oh, if you have that kind of knowledge and it's like how isn't there anybody out of that whole clan that's good and would want to put an end to this do you know what I mean? It's like there's them and they're coveting this information, but it's like how many centuries is it going to be until like one person is like actually pure and good that's a part of their them that's going to expose this stuff. It's like I cannot understand why it's just like constantly just like hidden from us.
Well, figure that the Vatican Bank and all, they're controlled by this a darker this dark thing. The Vatican, it started like the middle of the 1400s when a blood drinking satanic dark artist gangster loan shark was given the Vatican Bank. That was Medici.
Yeah. Oh,
and so right a couple of decades after Medici's in there, that's when they had the Inquisition in Europe, like kill everybody who might be able to get Valentine's space.
Right.
With their purse stuff and torture them into a confession. So, it's okay for us to burn them or drown them and stuff. But this is all Medici, so they're all blood-drinking satanic dark arts.
No one expects the Spanish Inquisition.
There were 4 Medici popes. Genetically, Medici popes. So they had the paper on the crown of England, the crown of Spain from the loan shark thing like that. Mm-hmm. So when the New World was discovered, that the Vatican, it was a country, didn't have the ships, but Spain had the ships to go to discover the new country. Oh, okay. So they had Spain go there, but who'd they take with them? An Italian guy who was a representative of the Vatican Bank.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then when they get back, people say, "Well, who does all the new land and everything, the gold and the portals, belong to?" And then the Pope says, all that stuff belongs to the Crown of Spain, who the Vatican Bank has the paper on the Crown of Spain. So. Right. So that's the guys behind there. I don't know. I don't think David Icke got down to that. The Vatican Bank.
No, I doubt that. Yeah. Well, he's fascinating either way, but it's all fascinating, right?
Well, it's a perspective, a reference point to when you see all this goofy politics nonsense going on. This dominoes fall that way, Mm-hmm. So dominoes they go everywhere and all this stuff, but when you get this reference point that hey, the American bank has their fiat money system is in 123. Oh, okay, all right. Yeah, right. But not Russia. Russia's on this. Red Elk. Oh, I didn't get introduced to Red Elk. He was one of the 12 inner Elk.
Red Elk, yeah.
Yeah, so he was talking about the bad reptoids, that the physical ones who control the planet, but they're controlled by, folks without bodies,
Yeah.
The work dimensional consciousness in this matrix. They feed off of our emotions.
Yeah, I'm huge on that. Yeah, huge.
Okay, so Icke says there's 2 queens fighting. Okay, so I get that one of them is the Vatican Bank and has the Vatican Bank, and the other one has this other money system. I think it's in Bavaria or something like that. They're so dark, but they're not going to control. They're not going to destroy the ant farm because both of them are feeding off the ant farm with our fears and our despair and all this stuff,
Yeah. But
they're fighting for control of the food source, which is our negative emotions. That's why joy is such a really important thing,
Yeah. Well, spiritual world needs to, spiritual whatever needs to be fed too. So absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, so here this gets back, Molly, to the battle here is for our fourth dimensional consciousness. So with joy, but not hippie shit joy,
Yeah, yeah.
The real, Father's joy,
Yeah.
sort of thing, and then we're pushing back this stuff, so we're doing battle without doing battle, But to
Yeah.
get beyond time space, get your fourth dimensional consciousness beyond time space with the higher self and guides, man, you can really do battle.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense actually, because I was just I was watching it was a Dolo video, another guy I dig here on YouTube, and he was talking about like basically like mind, body, spirit, but it's like each one of those needs to be fed. It's like the body, needs food, but so, the spirit needs to feed spiritually, okay? And then that kind of filters down into the mind, and that's like our thoughts and things, being fed that, and then our bodies eat food. And I think that that's an interesting principle. So in that way, I can kind of relate to what you're saying about the battle for the consciousness, because that does make sense, because so I guess I'm contradicting myself in a way, because I didn't kind of think that did before, but now I'm kind of starting to see through talking to you that kind of does, because it's like we do we definitely feed something, with our fears and our emotions, obviously, because it's all over media. That's how they control, so many things. So that makes a lot of sense, actually.
Yeah, so there's all these vendors, and of course they're trying to make a buck on body, mind, spirit stuff, and you got to do this exercise or do this or that, but
Right.
none of them speak about the kingdom of the Father within you, which is the source of all of everything. So spread your joy like a hippie or something like that.
Yeah, they want to sell you a crystal,
because know that you're born, woman, God.
Yeah.
So it's like this unlimited power source. Don Juan Matus, he was a Yaqui, he didn't call himself medicine person, he said man of knowledge. Mm-hmm. He called it eternity in infinity, which is absolutely correct.
Eternity in infinity?
Eternity-infinity, that was his phrase.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Those books like Carlos Castaneda?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I read those early on.
Well, a good one to read would be, it's a later on book. It had a brilliant, wonderful title, The Active Side of Infinity.
Yeah, I did not read that one. Yeah, he has quite a few. I read the first three.
Oh, you're blonde, aren't you? No, that's a great one. There's a bunch of reference points I have from that one.
Okay.
A bunch. In fact, one time, I think it was in that book. I'm sure it was in that book. Don Juan told Carlos, "Stop calling me a sorcerer, and don't call me a shaman. I'm a warrior."
Yeah.
So he's doing battle.
Yeah.
He's not doing the hippie thing. He's doing getting up beyond time space and doing battle with the dark side that
Bhagavad
you
Gita.
can't see in parables.
That's right. Yeah.
So
nice. Yeah, well, actually, Tales of Power had a lot of cool stuff in that too, and I can't remember the third one. The third one is the one I think I really liked. The eagle.
The third one was Journey to Ixtlan.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah.
That was the third one.
Was that the third one? Oh, okay. All right. And then the weird one that like didn't do that well, I think it was the one with the eagle on it. I don't remember, but I really dug. Well, I dug them all actually. They were all very good. They were the first metaphysical books, metaphysical-ish, books that I ever read actually. So Journey to Ixtlan was very good. I like that one a lot. That was the one, and I think that's, or it might have been Tales of Power, where where he actually explains the process of waking yourself up inside of a dream. And I actually tried the technique that he used. And the technique was, so like if you're dreaming, like if you want to actually be a part of your dream, the technique that he uses is to look at your hands when you're in a dream. So like you can, before you go to sleep, you can tell yourself, okay, I'm going to look at my hands. I'm going to look at my hands. When I'm dreaming tonight, I'm going to look at my hands. And so I did that. And actually it was weird because what I did was when I fell asleep and all that, and I was in dreamland, I didn't actually like look at my hands, but I did tell myself to. And what I did, I was in front of a mirror, and it was like one of those like large, like mirrors that would be like on a closet or something. And I went like that. So it's like I saw it in the mirror. I didn't actually look at them, but it's like I commanded myself in a dream. So I think and that's a good technique to use for anybody out there who wants to try that, or if you've already tried it, it's a good technique to use because then the more that you can command, the different
Yeah.
realities, the more that gives you, because really we need to learn to command, our
I
minds
have
and
a book
things.
for you.
Yeah.
I was aware of this book 3.5 decades ago on lucid dreaming.
Yeah, good
called
stuff.
called called Creative Dreaming by Patricia Garfield, PhD.
What's it called?
Now, and so when I see an astrology chart, somebody has Mercury trine Neptune. That's a natural lucid dreamer. I mean, I've gone to the used bookstores in Boulder and found a copy for $2 to give it to that person.
Yeah.
Lucid dreaming. So that's
Okay.
a big deal. There's one more 1 hour and 1 minute interview that I want to turn everybody on to.
Okay.
The name of it is called Light Warrior, not Light Worker. Light Warrior. Mm-hmm. That's all one word. Light Warrior. Put that in there. Light Warrior and unicorns farting rainbows.
Okay.
And you'll get this. I know the gal who interviewed her. She's in Salida, about 4-hour drive from here. Anyway, she interviewed this gal in Melbourne. She's like 33, and she's a pixie. Her face is this pixie. Now, there's something about a fae life stream. Fae isn't fairy,
yeah, fae.
But Pan, and she. But that's not really important. But I'm sure she has this trine, from Mercury and Neptune in her chart, and she's a natural lucid dreamer. So she's been attacked since she was a kid by stuff that you normally wouldn't see. Okay. Because, the dark side knows you're coming in,
Yeah, right.
And like it happened to me, this gal who's been doing this work longer, she cleared some stuff for me in August of '08. She says, well, they knew you were coming. Anyway, this gal, Sarah, she has, like myself, she has kicked more ass than you have ever sat on.
Nice.
But in dream state.
Okay, all right.
In dream state, and I had I told Denise, hey, tell Sarah I said this. Well, Sarah says that you can email. I emailed her. She said, well, Martin, let's talk on Facebook. She's in Melbourne. Talk on Facebook goes faster. So I went to join Facebook. I had to rejoin Facebook. I got on it when it first started. I thought it was kid stuff, so I stopped.
Yeah, right.
So we had 3 2-hour conversations.
Wow.
And she turned me on to one of her allies, Beyond Time Space Being.
Okay.
And
not alien.
But we're up here, we're up above us. I said, okay, I got him. Oh, he's handsome. He said, oh, he likes it where you're at. There's a whole lot of juicy targets where you're at. But you know what, shit, where I'm at in the Front Range of Colorado, there's federales all up and down the Front Range of Colorado, 3 Air Force bases, 4 if you count the one in Cheyenne-Walman. And big on science and tech and all this. Anyway, so I want to turn her on to one of my allies. He's not an ally. Mm-hmm. He's a friend. I didn't do battle with him. I said, Archangel Sariel. And she immediately went, ooh, cool robe. Well, she does these parties or go to these places where you dress up like a fantasy stuff. She's into that,
Okay, yeah.
But we had 3 2-hour conversations. But she doesn't have this shielding that I have, so somebody got it. Hey, 2 medicine people speaking. We need it. So they got it her. They couldn't. The federal psychics can't get at me.
Yeah.
Because my shielding. They got to actually come and shoot me. Actually, it hasn't happened yet. So anyway, she got sour. That's how it looks. If the Fed psychics can't, like NSA psychics, they can't get at the target, they have one of their contacts get sour about them.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I see what you're saying, yeah.
Okay, so anyway, Sarah backed off from talking. It was 3 2-hour conversations, typing all that stuff. And then the Facebook conversation was erased.
Whoa, interesting.
And I got from my angels, she didn't do it. The NSA techs and whatnot did it.
Yeah.
I've talked to a friend of mine. He says all of his Facebook conversations for the last 3 years are still there.
Yeah.
So
Interesting. Yeah, I've had some weird stuff like that happen too.
Okay,
Definitely.
so you kind of yeah.
So we
Okay,
have
so
Chaos here says that they have Mercury trine Neptune at 6 degrees. So there we go.
that's close enough.
No, that's a good thing, right?
Lucid dreams often happen right when you wake up.
Yeah.
Those dreams are so emotional that you have to check and see if you went to bed.
Yeah.
But right when you wake up is that threshold. It's like a portal, but that balance between waking and sleeping.
Exactly. But it's the space in between. Yeah.
Yeah, I have mine in the middle of the night, and I still check the bed and all that. But it's information from my higher self because it's more impactful. Because I'm chatting with my guys on and off all day long.
Yeah.
So if they wake me up at 2:30, I'll write it down, and so I'll get lucid dreams, not all that often.
All right.
But in the middle of the night, it's like, pay attention to this knucklehead, turn the light and write this down. Okay.
All right, cool. Hey, all right. I think that's a good place to. I'm going to take a look and see what's going on in the chat. I was kind of engulfed in the conversation, so I've been kind of not paying attention. I did say we'll be a little interactive, but Martin, you are super cool, one of a kind. So hopefully, we can get you to talk some more.
Yeah.
What's that?
That's what the district attorney says about me.
That's humor, man. Totally. Let's talk soon, and I mean, if you're game, let's do this again, and give us some more info.
You want to check your chat, Molly, see if there's any specific questions from me before we.
I don't think I saw any. I've been kind of glancing. Does anybody have a specific question for Martin? Let's see. Of course, I'm lagging too, so that doesn't help.
The moon's in Sagittarius, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think that was a different joke with the moon and Cancer thing. Let's see. Yeah, just and today's Aquarius. Yay. All right, cool. Martin, thank you. And that was fantastic. And I'm just gonna see what else, if there's anything else you guys want to talk about. I had a little bit of a topic here too, but we'll see if anything else comes up. So let's see. Oh wait, Chaos wants to know about. Do you know anything about U.S. pyramids?
Well, pyramids, they're power things, The guy who first did the first pyramid book in 1970s down south of Sedona, Patrick Flanagan, he's an Indigo.
Yeah.
But they're a power accumulator. There's a bunch of them kind of newly found in pay attention to eastern China, and also found in the last decade in the hills of Romania and all that. There's met some people in the hills of Romania, and here's Magonavina, and
yeah.
But a lot of them are truncated. Okay.
Are what?
Truncated.
Truncated. Truncated. Yeah.
Okay. Well, they're all dirty Air Force bases. But there's this Air Force base in western North Dakota, but I think more into eastern North Dakota. Oh, there's Grand Forks in eastern North Dakota. But there's another property the Air Force has where it's an antenna, for missiles from the dang Ruskies coming over the pole and stuff like that. And they built a truncated pyramid.
Okay.
And there's like a big round disc on all four sides. It's not for the Rusky stuff. That's all fear porn.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
The whole word is fear porn to get more tax money out of the knuckleheads.
Yeah.
So it's portal stuff. There's at least one, and sometimes two portals on every U.S. and U.K. Air Force base, taking control of these power spots and flip them to the dark side. Okay. So anyway, this one Air Force property or some kind of military, I think it's Air Force property in North Dakota, it's an antenna for them. It's bullshit. It's something to control this energy spot, this portal. There's a picture, I think, in a wiki or something like this. It looks like it's from Egypt. It looks like it's from Eastern China. It looks like it's from Mesoamerica or something like that. It's got these discs on it. No, it's metaphysical energy stuff that they're turning to the dark side.
Yeah. Yeah,
know about this?
portals. Let's do portals next. Like, if you want to come on again, which I'm hoping you do, let's talk about portals and things. I think that that's a really good topic, and I think we should we'll save that. Like, if you want to come back, and then we'll do that and talk about that. I think that would be really really fantastic.
Yeah, well, the NSA might try to. You had trouble with your tech at the start of the show.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
So if we plan to talk specifically about portals
Yeah.
and the shadow governments of the world, they might come by and shoot the both of us. Huh?
Okay, we'll keep it low key.
No, I'll spill the beans, baby.
All right, I love it. All right, Martin, thank you so much. You're awesome, and I really appreciate it. We'll talk again
You're
soon.
quite welcome, sweetheart. Bye bye.
All right, bye. All right, let me. There we go. Wow, cool. All right. Yeah, well, there's a wealth of information. And that's just like the tip of the iceberg. Yeah, he's a cool dude. All right, let me catch up on some things. Let's see. Yeah, Chaos, sorry, because I was seeing your Missouri and Mississippi thing, but I saw it too late. So maybe that's something, next time we can talk about. Yeah, and totally about New Mexico and all of that. Let's see. So cool stuff. Let's see. So so I wanted to kind of go a little bit of like both, because what I'd really kind of like to do with this particularly is do the the crazy kind of cool metaphysical stuff, but also to the work. All right, so it's like a little bit of both, kind of thing. So the only thing I brought up for this is so I want to do this at the beginning, and it's just I didn't have time because of everything. So I won't take this too long, because I don't want to keep you guys. I don't know how, but you can always like watch it in parts anyway. So, I mean, you can drop off and, catch the whatever. But what had planned on starting with this was first like kind of just talking about like metaphysics, right? Which is freaking hysterical. Look up the definition of metaphysics on Google and it'll crack you up. I mean, like if you're really into metaphysics, because it's something like, I don't know, but it'll crack you up. It's like so so true, but it's so false at the same time. It's great. So anyway, so what I wanted to talk about, and I made like some notes here, is for me, it's like metaphysics, and this is just me personally. So I'm not saying that I'm saying this is the definition of it. I'm just saying for me personally, just so you know where I'm coming from, and that will kind of show you like more about the show. For me personally, it's like a blend of like shrouded psychology and what do I have? Inevitable evolution. Okay, so that's what it kind of means to me. So those are the things like that I'm most interested in exploring, and all of these things too, because in the first original live I had a little thing under the description box. I don't have it under this one since I had to restart it real quick, but I had mentioned like that some of the topics might be about like other worlds and things, and then that kind of cracked me up in a sense, because it's like other worlds. There is no other worlds, but that's a whole nother topic too. So let me just stick on point here. So basically, like the one point that I wanted to bring up is that for me too, it's like it's always this point where it's like I know I need to go. Like that's what like the whole like spirituality practice or metaphysics practice and things like that. For me, it's always like this point where it's like I just know that I need to go. And it's like in life, like life is like that sometimes too. We always think that there's like this magical point, like, oh, once I have this, then everything will be great. Or once I get this, once I get that new job, once I get that car running, or, whatever, once I get that shiny boyfriend, whatever it is, like there's always some point. And that's kind of, I realized a lot of time, the way I treat metaphysics in a way. And it's like, and I pretend, to keep seeking for proof. Okay, when it's like it doesn't matter, because it's like I damn well get the proof. I get the weird experiences, I get all that. So it's like then So once I've had that, like I've had proof of things. I mean, we all have probably. I mean, you've had proof of things. I've had proof of things. You know, some people like see angels. Some people just have like a weird experience or like such a crazy experience. It can't just be synchronicity. You know, I mean, so everybody has proof. So it's like we have proof that there's like other stuff going on out there, right? And within, and which it all is. But anyway, so then, you know, I get that. And then it's like my next step, then, you know, I pretend to keep working on my skill set. So this is a common thing in metaphysics or the spiritual path too, where it's like we keep thinking, okay, it's like we set out for proof, okay, then we get that, okay, then that's not enough. So then we'll start off and we'll think, oh, well, we need to improve our skill set. I need to meditate more. I need to, some people want to do the, you know, total extreme path where they need to drop, you know, all bad things or what have you, you know, to improve their skill set, to improve their worthiness to God or what have you, know, all these things. And people do like drastic things or not so drastic things, but it's like this constant like improving a skill set. And there is something to practice and all of that, absolutely. But I'm talking about people who are like really on that path, you know. And it's like meditation, that's the thing I struggle with most, because I'm always I don't meditate enough. I don't meditate enough. You know, and that like constantly I'm telling myself that. So I'm always like trying to seek to improve my skill set and all of that. When I can meditate for like 3 hours if I want. You know? So it's like there's nothing to improve. I know how to do it. You know, so my whole point is because, and what I've written down here is because what keeps me away from total union, and like kind of what Martin was talking about, the kingdom within, okay, what keeps me away from total union is the fear that I won't exist. So, and I think that's kind of like a huge thing for us. It's like, why, like we take things to a certain point and then we pull back, or then we make excuses for ourselves, or we say, oh, that didn't work, or even though we know damn well it would work if we just did this a little bit more. You know, it's like we find these excuses, because the thing is, the truth is, we know that like once we kind of find it, you know, we're kind of done, you know. So I think that's kind of like an interesting thing. And real quick too, and I'll look at some of the comments and things. With that, it's like okay, so I can't understand my own note, but that's all right. Because basically that's why, you know, they talk about like killing the ego and all of that, because like once you kill the ego, the I, then it's like you've kind of, you know, succeeded, all right, or what have you. And what I found really interesting, I was thinking about rising signs today, and because there was something and it struck me, your ascendant. And I love words and wordplay and all that. And then I was looking at that like ascendant, and then rising. Your ascendant is your rising, you know, sign. And isn't it interesting that in astrology, your rising sign is your personality? So like you might be you know, your sun sign might be something else, and that's like kind of, you know, your core and all that, but your personality or how people view you or, you know, things like that is the rising sign or the ascendant. So it occurred to me that perhaps I've always thought of Pluto, the planet Pluto, as like the evolutionary planet in an astrology chart. Like that's the one that, because it plumbs the depths, you know, and goes to the roots and then forces you to evolve, kind of thing. So I always kind of thought that was the one to pay attention to. And I've never really paid attention to my rising sign that much. But now it's like it kind of dawned on me that like maybe that is like really the one to pay attention to, because if it is the ascendant and the rising, you know, sign, then, and it just so happens it's about your personality. Well, once you can like conquer the personality or what have you, then perhaps, you know, that's like the rising, the ascension, or, you know, what have you. So I don't know, I just thought it was kind of cool. Let's see, so oh, Martin's in. He's in the chat. All right. Right on. What do we got? Ego keeps the body safe and alive. Don't kill it. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Now that is true. what Martin brought up is very true, because there is a lot of talk about that, about kill the ego, and all that. And I do agree with what he's saying. It's like, no, your ego is like, that is exactly what he says. That's what keeps you safe and alive. But I'm talking about for like the hardcore transition, like the ones who like, really, well, not the ones, we all do. We all want this. It's just we all approach it differently. But eventually, yes, we will have to kill that ego. And in it's just that, yeah, it's such a delicate topic, because it's thrown around like crazy, where it's like, oh, kill your ego, as if you shouldn't have any fucking self-esteem at all, or that's the way people take it, I think. And that's bullshit, and that's wrong, and all of that. All right. But I'm talking about ego in the form of personality. Okay. So in that sense, it's like, like we were talking about lucid dreaming, we have, our reality, that's going on here right now. Then we have like our dreams, that are going on. And then somewhere like in between there is that space where we do connect. But it's like, once we actually hold that connection, then, I mean, the only way we can actually hold that connection is to drop the ego completely, the personalities and all the identifications, all of those types of things. So it's a little, maybe out there and up, whatever. But it just occurred to me. I think it's really interesting. So I'm going to start paying more attention to my rising sign. Which is, Cancer, like everybody else. I don't know. Everybody I meet is fucking Cancer rising. It's like, I don't know. It's like, seriously, like everybody in my life is like Cancer. I guess it's just like a super popular rising sign. I don't know. Or it just, I gravitate to them. Or I don't know, what have you. Your teacher asked you, want the blue pill or the red pill? I don't want any pill. There you go. Exactly. Me neither. Yeah, I always crack up with those. Totally. We're not sure if there will be readings tonight. Have a discussion on. Oh, okay. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, no readings tonight. Thanks. All right. So your rising is Aries. Yay! I know somebody else. Right on, Charlotte. So, all right. So, does anybody have anything they want to bring up, or are you good, or you want to see some other things next, or any deals like that? The last ascension, I was meditating for hours, and then life happened. Yeah, next lesson's here. Yeah, that always happens. Damn it. But that's the thing. That's the thing. It's like, it doesn't have to. Because it's like we just got it. Chaos arising. Yeah, just saying. That's the whole point. CJD. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It's like, if we really, the thing is, if we really want to cross that freaking line, we can, and we damn well know it. It's like we don't do it because we're scared. And I mean, I don't know if that's for everybody. I'm not trying to speak for everyone, but I know that's for me, because I know, like, if because I've had a few glimpses here and there, but it's like I pull back, and that's why, because I think we know then that's a whole, nobody likes change. That's what they say. So it's like, if you're in like super deep meditation and you're feeling that connection, and you can hold that freaking forever if you want. But we don't, because we get scared, we pull back. And it's like, because we want to identify, we want to, we don't want to lose who we are, and fear that we won't exist, and all those things. It's really kind of crazy. Ascendant equals self-image. Yes. Let's see. Lay the template for your life. Nice. Okay. Very good advice. So many Cancer rising is in your life. I think it's, honestly, I bet you it's probably the most popular rising sign, because I seriously just like everyone I know is Cancer rising practically. It's just really crazy. Well, not everyone, but astral travel, chaos, absolutely. In fact, that's on my list. I think that will be one to do. How far are we in? We're pretty far in, right? Time wise. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, we're pretty there. So let's do absolutely. Let's do astral travel. We'll make that a theme actually for the next one, because that I wrote that down. I've written a few things on my list to cover that I thought would be interesting for other people. also, and stuff I'd be interested in too, because let's face it, that makes it more fun. So, but yeah, I think that would be really fun. And I have done it a couple times, but yeah, we'll talk about it next time. Fate. Maybe for another day. Very in-depth topic, exactly. Yeah, I think we'll leave it there. And if you guys, like I said, if you want to call in or you have things you want to discuss, just drop me an email. All right, it's really easy, as you can see. And you don't have to be as well versed as Mark. Don't let that intimidate you or anything. If you just have like a cool story or a cool whatever, call in and we'll talk and all of that kind of stuff. Just send me an email and we can set it up for the next show. And you don't even have to, like, don't worry about it, like if you can't make it or whatever, no pressure. So we'll just keep it pretty laid back. The next show that I do on Monday, I will put the phone number in the description box. And apparently I'll be doing it on my phone, so I won't mess it up next time, and I'll just give up trying to figure out the other thing that I've been trying to figure out forever. So, all right. Well, I thank you guys so much for hanging out, and thank you for your super chats too. That's very, very thoughtful and kind and generous, and I do appreciate that. Thank you. And thanks, Martin, for hanging out, and everybody. That's just really cool. I'm glad to see you all here. Let's see. That's great for tonight. Plan ahead for topics to discuss. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I've got a list, but we'll get there. I figure about an hour, 15 minutes is probably good for these. So, but yeah, you can always add more. Just, put it in the comments of this video after the chat. And if you guys have some other topics you want to explore, throw them in there. Okay. All right, cool. And again, reach out to me if you'd like to be on. If you have a story to tell or something interesting that you would like to bring up, please do so. All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks for hanging out. All right. Bye.